Hello and welcome to Joyful, the podcast that will help you live a more joyful life. I'm your host, Chloe Markham, and it's my mission to help you find more joy every single day. This podcast is a deep dive into ways to reduce your stress, your overwhelm, anxiety, and that voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, whilst also diving into the methods, philosophies, and protocols that help us live more connected, grounded, and ultimately happier lives. This is about living life on purpose. Without any further ado, let's dive into today's episode. So I taught my in-person class yesterday, which was just magical, and I hope we can all get to do that together soon, because I'm doing one in April and then one in June, I think, too. But I love yoga, whether it's in person or not, but in person there is a magic that anyway, it was magical and wonderful, but it's a big class, 2.5 hours. It takes quite a lot out of me, so I'm slowing down a bit. But yesterday in class even, we were talking about slowing down. So the second half of the session was really slow, big calm style. And I think everyone in the room kind of felt how necessary it was, me included. Because I was talking about slowing down, like, I prefixed this whole class with why. So I know, and she'll know if she watches this, who I'm talking about. I know of someone who does sit-ups in Shavasana instead of Shavasana. At least once that's happened. You know who you are. But I want to kind of address the point of Shavasana, the reason why we slow down. Even in quick vinyasa classes, you'll see the start and the end, we have, slowing down elements. What's the point of that? So if we kind of approach this from like a nervous system point of view, which is all there is, really. That's what our bodies kind of are. Our view of reality, the way we interact with the world, with ourselves, with each other, is dependent upon where we're sitting in regards to our nervous system. So if we're sitting in that fight or flight response, the sympathetic nervous system, our view of reality and what's actually happening around us is going to be skewed by that in quite a detrimental way. Versus if we're sitting in a calm, quiet, easygoing place, our parasympathetic system, it's going to be a very different world. But not only that, but it impacts the way our bodies function. So when you're stressed and you get sick. So I was traveling last week. If you watched my deep dive last week, I was seeing family and friends down south, which was great, super great. But it's quite it was stressful. But I'm driving every day to a new location, new bed every night for 4 nights. God, isn't it awful? No, it was wonderful. I'm not complaining, but I just mean that it does impact your nervous system. Driving a lot, motorways, London, that's a lot. And it's funny because it times perfectly with my neck getting, that kind of tweak you get, the pain, and you're like, oh, I can't move my neck, and you feel like an old woman. It's not coincidental, is what I'm saying. It isn't coincidental. So the point of us slowing down is to kind of remedy the society we live in that is asking so much of us, that gives us like this badge of honor when we work the weekend and when we're just stressed with work and we work evenings and we work 90-hour weeks. I spoke to someone in our beginners course, hello if you're watching, and she was telling me, I think she's a lawyer, right? I mean, you don't have to say anymore. I didn't know there were that many hours in a week. I can't remember the figure she told me, but it was like, okay. And I thought I was stressed, But it is this kind of badge of honor in our society. But it leads us to nervous system burnout. And what happens when we burn out is we've gone so long doing, quick, I have to get this done. I don't have time to feel my body. I don't have time to take breaks. I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to yoga or go to the gym or whatever. I don't have time. I have to get this work done. What happens when we do that for a long period of time is we literally burn out. We enter a different part of our nervous system that is vacating from life, which is burnout. And I experienced this a bunch of times last year for lots of different reasons. I know yoga teachers who have been through that themselves and couldn't get out of bed for months on end. It's burnout. It's like your body starts to shut down because it can't deal with it anymore. It's a part of our nervous system that evolved millions of years ago. It's that freeze response. This can lead to depression, and I mean, burnout is big enough as it is, right? Not to add depression into the mix. But this is what happens. We're not robots. We can't just expect ourselves to go all the time, be productive all the time. There are consequences to that. And I was joking about yesterday. I mean, you know, I waffle, but I was like, and then we're all going to get heart attacks when we're 45. I got some weird looks. We're not all going to get heart attacks when we're 45. I don't mean it like that, but we're putting ourselves at risk of like digestive issues, circulation issues. I get heart palpitations when I get anxious. I get breath issues when I am anxious. Getting out of bed, not being able to get out of bed for months on end. What does that do to us physically? We're not able to be good parents in that situation, or good friends, or good business owners or employees, or whatever it is that you are, all of the things that you are. We can't do those things. So what I'm saying, and what I was like talking about yesterday, is slowing down. Now I know this doesn't really pertain to strength. Just a note before I talk about strength. So in order for us, I'm just laughing at my waffle. In order for us to like maintain this homeostasis and to continue to, it's okay to be productive and to be, oh my God, I've got stuff to do and I have to get this done, and it's okay, that's okay, right? As long as we balance it out with, oh, it's all good, I got it done, I didn't get it done, but it's time for me to like, you know, soften everything and just take a moment and slow down. As long as we're able to do that, it's okay. Then we can find this homeostasis, this everything working as it should, this balancing back to center. We can return back to our parasympathetic nervous system. And the way to do that is incorporating slowing down into every day, just little nuggets. Now I was talking about meditation, and meditation being part of my morning routine, and that's a slowing down, right? That is saying, okay, regardless of what's happening in my life today, in my inbox, in my to-do list, and all these bloody notebooks I have surrounding me right now, I'm going to take this time. I'm going to get up a little bit earlier, and I'm going to take this time to slow down, to meditate, and to breathe, and to do some visualization stuff, and right? It's important. So I was speaking to the guys yesterday about my 30-day meditation challenge. I really encourage you guys to jump into that because it's wonderful. Meditation is wonderful. We don't meditate to get good at meditation. I've spoken about it before. We meditate to literally make all these changes happen in our lives, and they do happen. Trust me. Yeah, it's a fucking powerful thing. So I'll put a link to that for this week. If you want to get started on that, you'll not be alone. I'm giving it to the folks who joined me yesterday as well. So jump into that 30-day meditation challenge. But like back to the point of strength in our yoga practice, what's slowing down got to do with that? So what's really interesting, if we take like a vinyasa class, obviously it's what I teach, right, mostly. If we go through, and sometimes, God, I've seen this before, like sun styles really quick, like breath in, breath out, lift, blah, 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 like really quick. If you do, say, chaturanga, cobra, downward dog really quick versus really slowly, which version do you think is going to gain the most strength for the practitioner, right? So often, if we're just like going through the motions and we're moving with breath, which we do in vinyasa, that's literally what vinyasa means, we're moving with breath, and we're quick about it, and we're already thinking about it, we've done it a million times before, we just blah, 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 go through, blah, blah, blah. We actually miss out the kind of nuances of strengthening. So if we're able to slow down our vinyasa practice a little bit, and I don't even mean like necessarily jumping into a slow vinyasa class, I just mean becoming more mindful, allowing yourself to slow down as you move from chaturanga to cobra or upward dog and to downward dog, allowing yourself to be slow as you do a push-up or as you do, I don't know, some sort of chair movement. So that's when we're, you know, sinking our hips down, bending our legs. If we're slow, like really slowing this stuff down, are we gaining strength or are we losing strength? The answer is obvious. We're gaining more strength. Things become more challenging. You know, like, you guys I'm sure will have seen, what are they called? Kipling pull-ups? I don't know. I don't do CrossFit. But there's a lot of like contention about these pull-ups, right? Because so you're hanging from a bar and you swing your entire body back and forth in order to help you get the lift up you need. But like, and we can talk about CrossFit for a second because CrossFit is quick. Like, how many reps can you do? How many can you do? Do as many as possible. As many as possible. And a lot of injuries come out of CrossFit. I'm not saying CrossFit's a bad thing at all. But I'm just, you know, a lot of injuries come out of CrossFit. I am one of them. I did CrossFit for a little bit, sort of. And my partner at the time also. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. I'm just saying there's a difference between as many rounds as possible and, okay, if you're hanging from a bar and you do the slowest pull-up you can, how much harder is that going to be? You're not using momentum. You're not using the quickness or the kind of weight of your body swinging back and forth to help you lift up. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to, you're relying then, you're isolating. Anyway, I'm not talking about pull-ups. I can't do pull-ups. But it's the same in a yoga practice. If you're doing any sort of like strength-based, you know, arm balance, or can we learn the nuances of these poses? Can we slow them down a bit, encourage our bodies to maybe linger a little bit before we pull through into, so I'm talking about cobra, talking about chaturanga, linger a little bit before we pull ourselves through into an upward dog. If we slow down in our practice, I'm telling you, the gains in our strength can be amazing. But caveat to that, you'll also notice where you're lacking in strength because it's easier to do it quickly. It's much easier to do it quickly. So that's my takeaway for this week. I have so I'm going to share with you the 30-day meditation challenge. Why don't you get started this week? You know, best day to start is today. Just bearing in mind, it took me 50 days to do my first 30-day meditation challenge. As a practitioner, I mean. And I'm also going to share with you a couple classes, slow and strong. There's a short version at 30-something minutes, a long version at 50-something. I filmed these years ago. I look at them and think, oh my God, they need redoing because, you know, I have better cameras now. Things wonky. I've lost loads of weight since then, like, oh God. But no, they're still good classes. So I want you to see if you can practice them this week. And just like, or whatever you're practicing this week, whether you practice this week's class or not, I want you to slow down your movement. Slow down your, even if you're practicing a super flow with me, what is it like to slow the super flow down a bit? I don't even mean in pace. I just mean in like, okay, become conscious of the way that you're doing your stuff. And I promise it will change the strength game in your practice. And it's a really good kind of meditative tool as well, right? slowing down, baby. We need it. We need regular dips back into this parasympathetic nervous system. I'm actually doing a nervous system course in April, and I'm really excited to share with you the things that I learned from that. But right now, let's just sit in the knowledge that wherever you're sitting in your nervous system absolutely impacts the way that you view reality. It's a big deal. Anyway, you can tell I'm slightly like tired today, so I'm going to be parasympathetic in my way through today. By that I mean lots of tea and my god, lemon tea to start the day, magic. But lots of tea and less productivity. I didn't mean that to rhyme. Okay, that's enough waffle from me. Let me know. I don't have any questions this week, I don't think. Although Trish did say that her fitness tracker has told her to slow down, and she's slowed down, and it's hard. This isn't easy. Slowing down isn't easy. We're in a society that's conditioned us to do sit-ups when we're supposed to be shavasanaing, right? But we live in a society that encourages that, so it's hard. Slowing down is hard, but it's when we access it, when we do it regularly, it's profound, it's amazing and wonderful. I hope you made it to Sarah's Big Calm last night. If not, Sunday night, baby. It's the ultimate slowdown. Anyway, I'm off to drink the rest of my tea. Let me know what you think. And go enjoy this week's practices, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening, my friend. I hope you're feeling sparkly and inspired to live a more joyful life. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a rating. These things are invaluable to me, and share it with people who need it. This is about inspiring more people to be more connected and lead happier and more joyful lives. Join my inner circle for more inspiration. Learn more at the website theyogarevolution.co.uk and chloemarkham.co.uk. I'll see you in the next episode.